all had discoveries where halfway through the conversation, the prospect turns around and says, sorry, why are you asking all these questions? And it's quite common. And one of the main reasons behind this is because we've not set the context to why we're asking these questions. And when we actually start asking the questions, we're not making the customer or the prospect feel comfortable. One of the techniques we're going to talk about today is called leading with insight. Now, the best way of thinking about this is a fair exchange of value. I give the prospect something before I ask for something back. That thing that I'm going to give is insight. So this is what it sounds like when you don't put that insight at the beginning of the question. And notice how intrusive it sounds. So what are you doing at the moment to grow during COVID-19? Again, incredibly intrusive, incredibly harsh. And it's only going to put the customer or the prospect in a position of discomfort. But when we add a bit of insight at the beginning of it, it becomes a lot easier for the prospect to answer that question. We're finding in the market at the moment there's two very distinct camps. Those that are sitting still during COVID-19 to understand what's going to change in the market, and those that are just ploughing ahead. We're finding typically the ones that are ploughing ahead are getting the best results. Just out of interest, what are you doing at the moment to truly understand the marketplace during COVID-19? All of a sudden, with that little piece of framing and that little piece of insight that I'm giving, I'm making the customer feel more comfortable. But also, think of what the prospect thinks of me. They're likely to think that this guy's an expert, he's a practitioner, he's not just a sales guy trying to make some money from me. He's actually someone who knows what's going on in the market, and the prospect's going to feel more compelled to answer that question. So here's some really simple examples we can use to lead with insight to make the customer feel more comfortable in answering our questions. We're finding that in the market at the moment, many organisations are doing XYZ, XYZ. What are you doing to overcome this? We hear all the time that actually the best place to generate leads is XYZ. How are you combating this? And then we have the general feeling from the marketplace is that this is happening and that is happening. A recent event or webinar that we've attended, experts are saying that XYZ, XYZ. A really interesting article / case study on XYZ topic that I read last week is showing that this is happening in the market. How are you combating this? Research we've conducted from our client base indicates that actually the best place to look for competitors is XYZ and XYZ. One of your competitors was saying XYZ, XYZ. What are you doing at the moment to understand XYZ, XYZ? Now again, by using these little prefixes, you're going to make the customer feel more comfortable and position yourself as an expert, and you're driving with insight. So the expertise that's coming through, the fact that you're coming across as someone who's knowledgeable and can be trusted, is ultimately going to help you gain that trust with the customer. Well, I hope there's some value in what we've gone through today. You should know the drill by now. Hit the subscribe button, send it to your colleagues and friends, encourage them to subscribe. Send this over LinkedIn if you feel there's value in it as well. This means that we can keep making these videos and keep adding insight to you guys. I really appreciate all the support, all the wonderful comments, and obviously the growth that the channel's showing. And as always, happy selling.